I was detained in Mexico, where some of these photos were taken by the police, and then was had to pay the cartel to let me get back to the U.S. And that's when I was getting arrested all the time for being a member of the press, totally credentialed, but covering these protests. But the second time I got picked up in the mass kettle arrest, they clearly knew who I was because I'd been covering them since 2014. So they knew me by name. They put out a fake arrest warrant for me to force me to stay in for over 72 hours, which was what could end up happening. It was terrifying. For the first 24 hours, I stayed handcuffed with a dislocated shoulder in the holding cell, and then eventually, I got processed, went up to the third floor, and when I got out, and I go talk to the attorneys, and they're like, we were really worried we wouldn't be able to find you and get you out. Because at that point, they'd known me to be doing very honest coverage of what they were doing and how they were treating protesters. And it was really the first time that credentialed journalists had been arrested en masse. But it became a huge rallying point because then we started seeing that other journalists were getting arrested, and then this just continued, this vilification of the press continued up into 2016 and, up to now. But it was something that, you never thought you would experience. It's like, you're credentialed, you're doing your job, you are making sure that what is happening is being documented and reported, and then to be arrested for doing that is a very odd kind of sort of realization. We always kind of like third party everything else. So, and you always think to yourself, this happens in other places where there isn't democracy, right? We're a democracy. We have freedoms. We're protected. We are able to do all of these things. And then to be sitting in a holding cell being like, well, I was doing the exact same thing that we all claim to have fought for. I am an American. I'm happy that I was born here, but to be truly an American is to question and call out the bad behavior of our government. That is everything that we're supposed to be doing. And keeping that in check. We have a responsibility to do that. At some point, blind loyalty became the thing we do. Questioning things became a problem. When it comes to politics, left or right, to me, it's all one and the same. Everyone is looking for an angle to win something. Whether it's an election, it's not about people anymore. It's about the rhetoric, what it is that we are that is different and makes us better than the other person. But in my work, I try not to be political, but rather just present for whatever is happening. It's left up to the individual to decide what they take away from the work that they see and hear and read. The only agenda I would have in my work is to insert back a little bit of humanity that we've lost because of the 24 hours news cycle, because of clickbait, because of politics, because of all of these other things that look like shiny distractions that removes us from actually taking a moment to see the pain and the victory and the agony, the struggles, the successes, the tears, the joy, the happiness of just people living life in this current moment. And whatever that emotion that they feel is exactly what I hope that they felt.